any backlash. I received nothing but backlash. No, actually, it was a lot of backlash. But I think that happens when anybody new comes into an established band, that the old guard really resents the new guard, and the old adage that people don't like change, and that's okay, because it was a completely different sound we were going for. Anyway, we were not trying to be comparative in any way. So yes, received a lot of backlash, and I always just kept saying, we are not, the Dio era. We're something else. We're more. Yes, are we more commercial? Yes, we are. We want to be. That's what we want. We want to get our songs on the radio. We want to be on the MTV. That's what we want. Okay. Ronnie's doing great, doing what he does. I love Ronnie. Ronnie, I knew from upstate New York when he was in Elf. Yeah. I mean, all these guys that played from this area, Lou Graham was in Black Sheep and all that. We all played clubs up there. I was in a band called Ezra. So I knew all these guys. And I had no animosities or jealousies or any of that stuff, because it was always a different thing. So backlash came from outside of that. It was the same with Purple. Big backlash. Only Gillan can sing these songs. And all I tried to do was do an admirable job of covering these songs like I used to do in my cover band, years ago, emulating my heroes. Yeah. Whether it was Burn from Coverdale or Highway Star from Gillan or what have you. It's all I'm trying to do, and it's nice sometimes when you see, the comments like, hey, he's not Gillan and he's not Coverdale and they're not Turner, but he did a good job. And the other two refused to sing each other's songs. So you're going to get to sing that stuff. You're not going to deprive the audience of the song. So I tried to do a good job, and I think I did. But backlash, my friends, yes. Still getting backlash. They never forget.
But what must be nice, and we've spoken about this in the past when we've spoken, Joe, is the fact that you always had the backing of Richie. Richie was always there, wasn't he, to help you and guide you, and he never let you take too much of the flag.
He really was. In fact, I don't know where it was. I forget. Somewhere in my files, I came over, Blackmore's favorite rainbow singer, and it was me. I mean, wow. Not Ronnie. Come on, I would have thought it was Ronnie. No, because he loves ABBA.
Yes.
He's a melody guy. He really loves melody and that kind of composition. And so I guess that's how I got to be, quote unquote, a favorite singer of his, because that's what we did, and we accomplished what we started out to do. So. And I think that's how I actually got the job in Purple, is because he just said, although I came up and auditioned, but he said, this is the guy. He can write, he can sing, and, he makes a fair presence on stage, and that's it. Yeah. That's who we're going to go with. And I think everybody's just acquiesced to that. I said, sure, let's give him a try. And then it was up to me to try to do a good job. And Slaves and Masters is a great record. Whether you can't stand the change or not, it's still a great record. Really is. And it seems that the older the album gets, the more people like it. Yeah. It's strange, because at first you got a lot of backlash. It's a deep rainbow record, and it's this and it's that. So anyway, I think there's some great songs on it, and it stands on its own merit.
Were you disappointed not to do the follow-up record?
Was I disappointed? Yes, in a way, because I knew I was an interim singer. I think Ian Paice had a great statement in the press one time that I read, and he said, Joe was kind of the glue that held Purple together in order to go from this point to this point. And without that album and without Joe being there, Richie would have taken off and done something else, and they never would have had that reunion with Gillan. Plus, I knew that there was something in the works with BMG trying to reunite Gillan for a large sum of money. And money talks, nobody walks. And I understood that, but we did work on the second album, which was The Battle Rages On, for them. And I do have some cassettes with me vocalizing over these tracks and so on. In fact, I did a song that I called Stroke of Midnight that I co-wrote lyrics and melodies with Jim Pitterick from Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
And Blackmore's bluesy track. And they called it One Man's Meat. And we called it, okay. And the story is that Blackmore would play this on the PA. And I have this good information. He would play this on the PA before a performance because he was pissed at Gillan. So you know how Richie is. He just likes to, and he would play my version of the song. Hysterical, really, but it's typical Blackmore, you know? So, yeah, disappointed, but not really unexpected. You know what I mean? It wasn't, I didn't expect to. When we started working on that second album, I was like, well, I guess, okay, we'll work on it. But then the call came in and they made the deal with B&G. And I was shown the door and said, look, you know, we're reuniting with Gillan.